Marvel fans, comic geeks, and all the nerds in between. I am Megan with Vigilante Vibes, where I talk about all things Marvel, Marvel Comics, Marvel Studios, MCU, all that great stuff. And today I want to talk about another character from Marvel Comics that I just think doesn't get enough hype, I guess. So today I want to talk about not just one, but quite a few. Who are the Stepford Cuckoos? The Stepford Cuckoos first appeared in New X-Men number 118. After Emma Frost got taken down by Trevor Fitzroy, she spent a year in a coma. While she was out, Dr. John Sublime secretly harvested over 1,000 eggs for his experiment, which is disgusting behavior. Weapon Plus used those eggs to create thousands of identical mutant girls. The idea was to grow a telepathic superweapon that could wipe out every mutant on the planet. This became Weapon XIV or Weapon 14. The girls were grown, aged, and kept underground in a place called the World. Most of them stayed dormant, but 5 were sent to Xavier's schools as sisters so they could train and blend in. Once Xavier's school went public, the quintuplets, Sophie, Phoebe, Mindy, Celeste, and Esme, enrolled. To keep anyone from questioning their origins, they subconsciously blocked the staff's mind from digging into their backgrounds, which I think is kind of a red flag, because wouldn't they know they're being blocked? They quickly got the name Stepford Cuckoos, even though they preferred calling themselves 5 and 1. Emma Frost helped the girls early on after Esme developed a crush on a student who turned out to be an alien in disguise. After that, Emma took them under her wing, and they became her protégés. They joined Xavier's high-level telepathy class, where they often clashed with Quentin Quire, who is Kid Omega. Quentin Quire fell hard for Sophie, but the Cuckoos thought he was weird and wanted nothing to do with him, which he was weird though. Fueled by his unstable powers, finding out that he was adopted, and abusing the drug kick, Quire snapped and started a student rebellion, which is something a weird kid does. Not saying weird is bad, but he was an odd duck. The Cuckoos snuck into Cerebra, amped up Sophie with Kick, and together they stopped him. But the strain killed Sophie. What no one knew yet was that Esme had been manipulating things behind the scenes, and she'd been using Kick too. After Sophie's death, 5 and 1 became 4 and 1, and the remaining girls blamed Emma. As revenge, they exposed Emma's psychic affair with Cyclops to Jean Grey, which is scandalous. Shortly after, Esme tried to kill Emma with a diamond bullet and then ran when she realized the truth about Sophie's death might come out. Emma survived thanks to Beast and Jean with the help from the Phoenix Force. Esme eventually resurfaced with her new boyfriend Scorn, pretending to be Magneto. Both she and Sorn were spiraling thanks to Kick. When Sorn rejected her, Esme lashed out and he killed her by driving her metal earrings into her skull. With Esme gone, the 4 and 1 became 3 and 1. The girls, along with the rest of the students, were temporarily moved to an X-Corp building during repairs. During that time, Mindy's first boyfriend, Jermaine, died during an anti-mutant riot. Once the school reopened under Cyclops and Emma's leadership, the students were split into squads. The Cuckoos were placed on the Corsairs squad under Cyclops and co-led the team. They brought in Elixir to help heal Wing after his fight with the Ord. When the Phoenix Force briefly returned to Earth, it considered using the Cuckoos, Kid Omega, and Emma as hosts before choosing Jean Grey again. Quentin woke up, dug up Sophie's body, resurrected her, got rejected again, and then she immediately died again. The Cuckoos stayed behind to run Cerebra during the chaos. This was a crazy time. This felt very messy to me in the comics. Then came M-Day. Most mutants lost their powers, but the Cuckoos kept theirs. 3 of only 27 powered students left. Emma sent the depowered kids away for safety, but their evacuation bus was bombed by Reverend Stryker, killing 42 former students. 42 students, dude! Emma also forced the remaining powered students into a battle royale to decide who would become the next new X-Men. The Cuckoos were disgusted and told Cyclops what she'd done. Soon after, a leftover spark of the Phoenix inside the girls set off the Weapon 14 nanotech inside their bones. This briefly resurrected Sophie and Esme, who tried to push their sisters back into the World the place where they used to live, not the world, to fulfill Sublime's anti-mutant plan. The Phoenix and Sublime fought over the girls' minds when the X-Men arrived. Phoebe and Mindy got captured and wired into Sublime's machine while the Phoenix possessed Celeste. Eventually, the Phoenix split across all three sisters and got trapped inside their new mutation, Diamond Hearts. That got it. This also awakened the 1001, the rest of Weapon 14's clones. So, Celeste held out long enough for the X-Men to break them free, but Phoebe lashed out and caused an explosion. Celeste seized control of the Phoenix and destroyed the remaining clones and sealed the Phoenix's shards inside the Cuckoo's hearts, which left the three girls emotionally numb. Not that, I mean, they weren't super emotional before, so. Back at school, the girls got into their bratty and rebellious era. They helped Elixir get a telepathic download of a PhD from Beast's brain. They were pulled into limbo and rescued by Prodigy, and to thank him, they restored all the knowledge he'd left when his powers vanished. When the Hulk attacked Xavier, the Cuckoos used Cerebra to call in backup. They were even briefly considered for the Initiative program. After the first new mutant birth post-M-Day, the Cuckoos ran Cerebra again to track the baby and coordinate the team. When the X-Men moved to San Francisco, the Cuckoos also went to San Francisco. They helped evacuate a hospital during the Skrull invasion and provided telepathic support for Emma as she brought down the Skrull's psychic shield. They continued helping Elixir and the X-Force and agreed to keep X-Force's existence secret for Cyclops. After relocating to Utopia, they spent a lot of time manning Cerebra. During a Predator X attack, the Phoenix fragments escaped from their hearts and shot back into space, knocking the girls into comas. When they woke up, they recruited Rogue to help search for the Phoenix, but came up empty. Losing the Phoenix again put them into another depression. During a trip to Manhattan, they beat Spider-Man to the punch, stopping a bank robbery. Even without a formal team, they kept supporting various groups like Cyclops' X-Men, Hope's team, X-Force, Magneto's, all those others. They kind of filled the cracks, I guess. During the Chaos War, Sophie and Esme were temporarily resurrected. Even though things were tense, they helped deal with the underworld threat. When the mutant community split between Cyclops and Wolverine, Phoebe wanted to return to the Jean Grey School, Mindy wanted to stay on Utopia, Celeste cast the deciding vote. She stayed mostly because Quentin Quire was there. When the Phoenix Force came back and the Avengers vs. X-Men conflict kicked off, the Cuckoos were among the younger students held at the Avengers Academy. Afterward, they were begrudgingly joined the new Jean Grey School, where they witnessed Professor X's death and the reignition of mutant kind. They hated their new school, so when Cyclops showed up looking for recruits, the Cuckoos and Angel immediately volunteered to join his side. They became the team's primary telepaths since Emma's powers were damaged. Around this time, Mindy dyed her hair black for individuality, Phoebe dyed hers red, and Celeste freaked out, but Emma approved. Later, during a battle with the Future Brotherhood, the Cuckoos and Emma teamed up telepathically to fight Scorn, a future Jean Grey. They did okay at first, but eventually got overwhelmed. After Cyclops shut down the new Xavier School and told everyone to return to the Jean Grey School, the students rebelled. The Cuckoos helped trap Mystique by manipulating her mind and luring her into a Dazzler-shaped trap. They and the others even planned to skip both schools and start their own little group. During a mission to stop a mutant girl summoning demons, the Cuckoos went diamond, used their telepathy to restrain her, and nearly killed her father's mutant-hating friend after he injured Goldballs. Afterward, they admitted they weren't ready for the real world and decided to stay at the Jean Grey School. About a year later, they went back to their natural blonde hair and matching outfits. Eventually, they moved to the mutant nation of Krakoa, where they acted as psychic liaisons for the human ambassadors. Thanks to Krakoa's resurrection protocols, Sophie and Esme rejoined the group and the Cuckoos were 5 once again. The girls usually act pretty much the same. They talk alike, they move alike, they usually stick together. They do argue now and then, but for the most part, they function as one unit, which is unsettling. Still, when they split up, their individual personalities start to show. One might be kinder, one might be more shy, one might be more bold. Little quirks that make them stand out from each other. So let's talk about them individually. Let's talk about Sophie. Sophie was originally the main personality of the group. She always wanted to be a hero, and her choices generally came from a noble place. She definitely had the strongest moral compass of the five. Phoebe's a problem. Phoebe tends to be the more aggressive one. When the Phoenix Force showed up, she was the one who actually wanted to tap into its destructive power. After Sophie died, Phoebe naturally slipped into the leadership role. She's also more independent. She resisted Zero's mind control when most others couldn't, even if it meant disagreeing with her sisters. Later, when the X-Men split, she was the one who wanted to head back to Westchester. Mindy likes playing piano and was one of the most resigned to the idea that they were tools created by Sublime. During Osborn's attack, Cyclops actually assigned her to purposely get captured so they could act as a Trojan horse, guiding the X-Men to where Osborn was keeping prisoners. When the team split, she wanted to stay at Utopia. Celeste started off as the shyest and sweetest group member. She didn't want to use the Phoenix when it took hold of her sisters, but she ended up being the one who mastered it enough to destroy her incubated clones and trap the Phoenix shards in their diamond hearts. Over time, she got a little bit more confident. Her sisters saying she's starting to think she's better than them. You know how they do. She also is the one who tries to nudge them towards watching something more educational than Glee. They like Glee, by the way. Celeste cast the deciding vote to stay on Utopia, but she gets very emotional when she can't reach Emma telepathically. So she is the more sensitive one. Esme is also a problem. Esme was always the schemer. She used Kick to gain leverage over her sisters and team up with Scorn. She secretly pushed Sophie into overdosing on Kick, later shot Emma Frost, and eventually ran off to join Scorn's Brotherhood. Definitely the most manipulative out of the group. So those are the Stepford Cuckoos. They are a lot to take up. They're a lot to keep up with, but they're so freaking interesting. Like, if you like Emma Frost, if you like the White Queen, then you'll love the Stepford Cuckoos. So, with that being said, I usually have some comics for you to check out, and today is no exception. I think you should check out X-Men, Phoenix and Song 1 through 5, and New X-Men Volume 2. But to be honest, they are scattered a little bit of everywhere, so it's hard to nail down which one you really want to check out. But I do think you guys should look into them. They're very interesting. So with that being said, have a marvelous day.